Welcome to this session. So today we will just try to say like what is this server administration and what is this network administration. Server administration means I'm talking about MCAC, and network administration means your CCNA. So why we have to do these two courses, what are the benefits, and what we can do after completing these two courses. Okay. So before that, let us see some very basics of computer network. So what exactly is a computer network here? Computer network is connection of devices. Okay, what devices we use in a computer network? We use devices like computers, servers, routers, switches, printers, firewall, etc. These are some of the devices that we use in every computer network. So connection of devices for sharing. Now, what is the purpose of connecting computer, server, router, switch each other? So that they can share information with each other. They can communicate with each other, right? So what exactly we can share over a computer network? We can share our, of course, data. We can share our hardware. Okay. We can share our internet. And we can access our remote devices. I'm just writing etc. These are some of the advantages of your computer network. Okay, connection of devices is a computer network, and these are the devices we have: computers, servers, routers, switches, firewalls. And why we are connecting devices? So that we can share our data, we can share our hardware, we can share our internet, as well as we can access the remote device. Now let me take you to a computer network first. So what you see here is a computer network, and this computer network has most of the devices, whatever I have named there. Like we can see clearly, this is your server, this is your switch, this is a router, there is a firewall, and there are some computers here we can see, and there is a printer here, and there is the internet connection coming inside our network. Okay, so this is a computer network which has most of the devices that we use normally. There are some more devices in a computer network, but these are the common devices. Okay, every computer network has computers, servers, routers, switches, printers, and there will be internet connection coming inside. Fine. So what is the purpose of connecting all the devices? Like I said, the main purpose is sharing of your data, sharing of your internet, accessing remote devices, sharing your hardware. This is what a computer network is all about. Fine. Now, let me just go with a very simple example first. Like there is a server here. Now, what exactly is a server? First of all, server means services. Server means providing some services. So here we can see only one server as of now. But I can say with 100% guarantee that there is no company anywhere on the face of the earth where there is only one server available. That's literally not possible. We cannot see any computer network where there is only one server available. We have like many servers. We have like multiple servers in our company. Okay. So what these multiple servers will do in our company, let us just try to analyze in a very simple way. When I say server, the meaning of server is serving. Let me just write here. Server means serve. What is the meaning of serve? Serve means like, if you order something in a restaurant, that person will come and serve you something, right? The waiter will come and serve you something. Serve means whatever you order, he will serve you that particular thing. Suppose if you order a burger, the waiter will provide you the burger. If you order a biryani, the waiter is serving you the biryani. That is called serve. So what is the work of server? Server will serve the request of a client. That is a very technical thing. I repeat again. Server will serve the request of a client. Who is the client here? The user. You and me, that is a client here. Now, for example, in this computer or in this laptop, someone said www.google.com. Okay. In this computer, someone said www.googledrive.com. And here, someone is accessing gmail.com. Now see here, friends, very simple example. Three people are sitting on three different computers. One is accessing google.com, another person is accessing gmail.com, and the third person is accessing googledrive.com. We know this very well. All these three are same company, right? Google is the company to which we have connected now. Google is the company to which these three different people are connected. But one person is accessing Google's email server. You can see clearly here. This is the email server of Google, right? Gmail.com is the email server. One person is connected to googledrive.com. Googledrive.com means he is connected to the storage. Another person is connected to www.google.com. Google.com is a web server in a way, right? So these are the three different services provided by Google. That is what I mean. You said google.com, so you'll be served with the google.com website. If you select Google gmail.com, you'll be served with the gmail.com website. And if you say like, googledrive.com, you'll be served with the Google Drive page. So this is your server and that is your service. A user is accessing something, and that user, whatever he is accessing, according to his request, the server will serve that particular request. If you say google.com, you'll be getting the Google server. If you say like gmail.com, you'll be getting the Google's mail server. And if you say like googledrive.com, you'll get the Google's storage server or the database server. It's actually a storage server, right? So this is what server is all about. Server is serving the request of your client. Server is serving the request of the client. Now, google.com, gmail.com, googledrive.com. These are the three servers. We are simply using them. We are not configuring anything in google.com, on gmail.com, on googledrive.com. What we can do in googledrive.com, we can simply upload our data, upload our files, so that it will be safely secure at a Google data center. What we do in gmail.com, gmail.com is a email server of Google. So in this gmail.com, we can simply send and receive our emails. But can we make any configuration in Google Drive server, or can we make any configuration in Gmail server? Of course, we can do something in our account. I'm not talking about our account. I'm talking about the server. See, we don't have any permission to make any changes in the Google server or Google Drive server or Gmail server. These servers are under the control of the Google company. Yeah, these servers are under the control of Google company. And there are some administrators sitting there in that company who are managing and who are controlling these servers. We are simply using them for our benefit. We are simply using it. It is a public server, so we are using it. Any person can create an account in Google. Any person can create an account in Google Drive, and he or she can upload the data there. This is only for like, public thing. But there are still administrators sitting in Google company who are managing these particular servers. Okay. But just for example, just try to understand, server means serve. What you are serving here? You are serving the request of a client. Okay. Now, within our company, actually, we have different servers. Within our company, or go to any company, the size of the company can be like, there are 100 people working in a company, or there can be like, 20,000 people working. Whatever the size of the network it may be, we have some servers like ADDS server, DNS server, DHCP server, okay, file server, backup server, Okay. Then we have like something called DFS server, etc. Like we have many servers within our company. Again, server means serve. DNS is serving something. DHCP is serving something. File server is serving something to you. Backup server is a different service. DFS is a different service. ADDS is a different service. Every server is serving you a different service. Like, if you go and order tea, you'll be getting tea. If you go and order coffee, you'll be getting coffee there, right? So there is a service. Ordering tea or coffee is a service. Okay. Ordering some food is again a different service. So you go to different places within a restaurant, or some different people will be there who are serving you different things here. So like this, within our company, we have like different servers who are serving different things. File server, we can see clearly. File server means our data will be there. That's it. Our files and folders will be there in file server. I repeat, our data will be there in file server, files and folders. Okay. So what we do in this file server, we keep our data, and it will be easy for us to access our data. It will be easy for us to manage our data. But there should be someone in a company, friends, who should be configuring and who should be managing that file server. File server responsibility is to protect, to keep our data, but there should be someone who should configure the file server. There should be someone who should take the backup of our files. There should be someone who should provide security on our data. And that person is the administrator. Okay. Now there is something called backup server. What we do in backup server, we keep backup server. In backup server, we keep the data backup, or we keep the, some other server backup, Gmail backup, or whatever backup. So in backup server, we keep a backup of a particular server. So in case if the main server is down, there is a backup server available. Like there is a backup server for DNS, there is a backup server for DHCP, there is a backup server for ADDS. So we have different backup servers there. But who should configure that backup server? The administrator should configure the backup server. Backup servers will not come automatically. See, when you bring a server in a company, server is a raw machine. Server is a hardware machine. Server is a hardware machine and server is a operating system. Just try to understand the difference here, please. A very, very simple point we need to understand here carefully. I'll come to this point in more details in our coming classes, but as of now, let us see. This is my hardware. Server is a hardware machine like your computer and laptop. It is a hardware machine. Okay. So this hardware have like more hardware compared to your computer and laptop. Like normally in our machine, in our computers and laptops, we have like 1 TB or 2 TB hard disk. But in a server, there can be like 100 TB hard disk or 5000 TB hard disk or whatever. In a computer and a laptop, we have 8 GB, 16 GB RAM normally. But in a server, there can be some, hundreds and hundreds of GB of RAM. So the hardware will be more. Okay, fine. So we have the hardware here. On top of this hardware, we have to install the operating system. So which operating system we need to install here? We cannot install Windows 10 or Windows 8 here. We need to install server operating system. Server operating systems can be like Linux server operating system, or it can be like Windows server operating system. And from Windows, it can be like Windows Server 2012, 2016, or 2019. Or from Linux, it can be Red Hat Linux 7.0, 6.0, 8.0, whatever. So that's server operating system we need to install. Now, after installing server operating system, we need to install that particular service. The service can be like ADDS service. The service can be like DNS service, or it can be DHCP service, or it can be file service, or it can be like, backup service, etc. These are the services we need to install here. Okay. So take a server machine, install the server operating system, and in this server operating system, install this services. Without server operating system, we cannot install the services. So what we need to learn in our MCS is, what we need to learn in Windows Server Administration is, we need to first of all know like what are the types of servers we have, physical servers. So it will take maybe a day for us to learn like types of servers, hardware part, like what hardware will be there, what companies are providing servers and all those things. Then we need to go with the server operating system. So server operating system may take like, two classes, types of server operating systems and how to install server operating systems and all those things. But remaining 1 month, it will take us for the services. What is ADDS service? How to install ADDS service? How to configure ADDS service? What is DNS service? How to install DNS service? How to configure DNS service? What is DHCP service? How to install DHCP service and how to configure DHCP service? These are the things we need to learn in our Windows Server Administration course. It will take like, majority of time, nearly 1 month or more than 1 month. It will take for us to learn all these different services. What is the use, how to install and how to configure. So this is the story of the server administrator. I repeat, server is a hardware machine like a computer and a laptop. That server machine has your operating system. That operating system is a server operating system, specially designed operating system. And on top of the server operating system, we can install services. Like remember we said Gmail service, Google Drive service or google.com service. So like this, we have some services over the internet and some services within our company. Right now we are connected to this session by using two services actually. There is a service called DNS running and there is a service called DHCP running for us. There are some services which we have over the internet and within our company. I repeat, there are some services which we have over the internet as well as within our company. And there are some services which we have only within our company. So like this, there are some services here and there. But overall, this is what server administration is all about. Done? Now, let us move to the other part of our course, other part of our package, that is our network administration. So what exactly we do in network administration here? So you can clearly see here, there are some more devices. We can see there is a switch here and there is a router here. See, we cannot see a company without a switch and without a router. First of all, every company must have, every network must have minimum one router, minimum one switch. It will be more actually. The switches can be in hundreds. There can be 20 switches or 150 switches or 300 switches or maybe like 1000 switches if the size of the company is very big. And the routers will be again in some numbers. Okay. So what exactly is the work of the switch and a router? Let us see briefly. When you see this diagram here, friends, when you see this network, you can clearly see here, all the devices are connected to switch. Like server is connected to switch, router is connected to switch, printer, scanner, laptop, computer, each and every device is connected to switch. Switch is actually a centralized device to which all the other devices are connected. I'll just take you to one switch. Let me just show you how it looks. This is what a switch will look like, friends. This is a real switch. Okay. You can see there is a company with the name Cisco. See here, this is Cisco written here clearly. And whatever you see here, this one is one port actually. One port means one device can be connected on one port. So on this particular switch, there are totally 24 ports. Sorry, there are totally 48 ports actually on this switch. 48 ports. That means 48 devices can be connected on this switch. How many devices? 48 devices can be connected. So what we should know in our CCNA is, we should know like what is a switch, how it is working, what are the types of switches we have, and what configuration we can do. There are a lot of configurations we have to do. There is something called VLANs, trunkings, VTPs, port securities, okay, like, inter-VLAN communication. We have many things to do in this particular switch. So this is what we will be learning in our CCNA part. That is your network administration part. So one of the main concept in your CCNA is switch. And coming to router, let me just take you to one router. Normally, whenever I say a router, people think of your Wi-Fi router. But that is not the router we use in companies, friend. What you see right now on your screen, this is the router that we use in our companies. This is again a Cisco router. You can see clearly Cisco is written here, if you can see that. This is a Cisco company device and this is called a router. And by using this router, we can make communication between two or more different networks. Like suppose imagine there is a branch somewhere in Delhi and there is an office somewhere in Chennai. One branch in Delhi, one branch in Chennai. So are they communicating with each other or will they communicate? Of course, they should communicate, right? So who will make communication there? This router is the device that will connect two networks and it will make communication. Take example of any big city like Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, Mumbai, Pune, whatever big cities you know. If you go with a bank, like suppose if you go with SBI, within a big city, within a metro city, how many branches will be there of that SBI? Of course, it will be like, some tens or maybe hundreds, right? A city like Hyderabad, there can be like 200 branches. There can be more branches there, right? So this 200 branches of a single branch, that is SBI, for example, are they communicating with each other? And if you say yes, the answer will be correct, right? They should communicate with each other. All the branches, they should communicate with each other. So who will make this connection? In every branch, there is a router. The work of the router is to establish communication between different branches. It will make communication between two or more different branches. That is what a router will do. So what is a router? What are the types of routers we have and how to configure the router? All these things we'll be learning in our CCNA part. Okay. So Windows Server Administration is dealing in servers. CCNA, that is your network administration. We are learning about switches and routers. And by the way, whether it is router or a switch or a server or a computer, by default, no device has any configuration. We have to configure server and there are many services we need to configure that we have seen before. We have to configure a router and there are some protocols we have on router, like there is something called EIGRP, there is something called OSPF, there is something called RIP. All these things we need to configure inside our router. Okay, so we need to configure routers, switches, computers, servers, all these things we need to configure. So where exactly we are learning about servers here? Let me just make a small table for you. Yeah, fine. Windows Server Administration. Here we are learning about servers. Name says everything. Windows Server Administration. We are learning about ADDS server, DNS server, DHCP server, file server, backup server, WTS server. Okay, DFS server, etc. These are the servers we are learning in our Windows Server Administration course. And coming to the network administration, that is CCNA. Cisco certified network associate. Here we are learning three major concepts actually. One is IP address, second one is router, and third one is, I've just written three topics here, friends, but it will take like around 30 days, 35 days for us to finish these three topics. I'm not writing details of what we are learning in IP address, router, and switch. To know the details, the management will send a mail to you, and in that email, they will attach each and everything, whatever we are learning there. Okay, so you can just refer that particular course content. There you will get all the details. As of now, I can just say like in CCNA, we are learning three major topics: IP address, router, and switch. IP address will take 1 week, router will take like 1 week, and switch will take like 1 week, and router will take around 2 weeks. And there are some more classes we need. So overall, it will take like around 35 days for us to finish our CCNA course. Okay, so this is the package, friends: Windows Server Administration and Network Administration. If you want to start your career in networking, this is the place from where you can start. If you want to make a career, if you want to go like, further into like cloud computing or maybe security or virtualization or ethical hacking or whatever, if you have to learn all these technologies, like, cloud computing is quite famous nowadays. Ethical hacking is like, security is always, much needed, right? Whether it is your company's network or over the internet, security is always needed. Okay. So for security or for, virtualization, for anything, for any of these courses, if you know the concept of server administration and network administration, that will help you a lot in all the other things. Like, if you go to cloud computing, actually, there are many topics in cloud computing which are directly related to IP address, routers, and switch. There are many topics in cloud computing that are directly related to services like DNS, DHCP, and all those things. So without the proper knowledge of this Windows Server administration or the server administration and the network administration, it will be hard for you. It will be very hard for you to learn the other technologies. So in whatever way you take this, whether if you want to go further into like server administration only, or if you want to go into like network administration only, still you need to go with like MCC and CCNA course. Or if you want to go with like cloud or security or some other technologies, still you have to start from this server administration and the network administration. Without the knowledge of these two technologies, it will be very hard for you to learn any other things in network. Done? So this is what the local area network will look like, or this is what a computer will look like. And in that computer, these are the devices we have. So overall, this is what we need to learn in our server administration and network administration package. So next 40 days, 45 days, you can complete both the courses. You can finish both the courses and will be in a better position to decide something for yourself. Whether to go with like server administration part, whether to go with like network administration part, or whether to go with like, cloud computing or virtualization or security or ethical hacking or whatever. It's up to you. As of now, as a fresher, I can say only one thing for you. You must learn these three. You must learn these two courses, server administration and network administration. Okay, friends. So before I move further, I'll just take a break for 30 seconds. If you have any questions, any doubts, chat box is always open here. I'm sending a message in chat box now. I'm just saying hello here. So if you have any messages or if you have any questions or anything you want to say, you can simply send me a message there. Or if you want to talk to me directly, you can talk to me directly. So it's over to you now. Just take 30 seconds. If you have any doubts or anything, please feel free to send a message. Okay. Okay, there is a good question coming here. And the question is, after MCSE course, what's available for advanced Microsoft admin courses? Microsoft provides you variety of certifications, right? You know this very well. As of now, MCSE certification is not there. MCSE certification, they retired this certification, so they are no more offering the MCSE certification. You can simply go with the MCSE course, not with the certification. But after MCSE, if you want to go with something, then we have something called like email server. We have like, hypervisors. Hypervisor means virtualization. Or we can go with like Azure. Azure is a cloud. So we have many options here. MCSE certification is not available, but we still have certifications for like your hypervisor, that is virtualization. We still have certification for like cloud. So if you're asking me like what is a better option, then I can say like cloud is a better option if you want to go into like Microsoft side. And the cloud from Microsoft is called Azure. They name the technology like Azure. Cloud is a technology, but the certification that they offer is, they call it as Microsoft Azure certification. This one. So after MCSE, if you want to make a better choice, if you want to, like, see yourself working in something for next 12, 15, 20 years, then this is the thing that you can select. Azure. This is cloud actually. You can go with Azure or you can go with like AWS. It's up to you. But if you're talking specially about Microsoft technology, Microsoft company, I'll go with Azure. One more question is there. I guess the question is, email server is run by Durga Online. I think these people, the Durgasoft people, they are using, let me just check the email. I think they are using Gmail server. They're using a public server. They're not using their private servers. Yeah, I think they are using Gmail server. So whatever server they are using doesn't matter. They have a website for sure, but okay, your question was Microsoft email server run by Durga Online. Okay, right now I'm not sure they are offering any email server. Email server is your Exchange server actually. If I get some more like requirement, I may start email server. That is under me actually. So it's not a big deal. Email server will take around like 2 weeks to complete. But again, before you go to the email server, the prerequisite of email server is these 3 servers. You should have the knowledge of ADDS, DNS, and DNS. Especially you should have the knowledge of ADDS. And when you go with Windows Server Administration, ADDS will take more than 2 weeks. 60 to 65% or nearly 75% what we are learning in Windows Server Administration is about ADDS only. Active Directory Domain Service. This is such a huge service. Okay. So then if you need email server, that is your Exchange server. If I get some more people, hopefully I'll start the email server. Email server is a very easy server actually. I have some notes. This is 2013 actually. I have like 2016 email server also. So I can just go with that email server and you can see what exactly is that server. But as of now, we are not offering the email server, but if needed, then we'll go with it. You can simply see yourself working on email servers for rest of your life actually. We have that many job requirements there, and that is such a important server. There are 2 servers. One is a public server, one is a private server. Public server that we use Gmail or Yahoo Mail or Rediff Mail, Outlook. These are the public servers. Anyone can use this public server. But company will go with their own servers actually. Most of the companies, they go with their own servers. They manage their email servers within their company. Like if I say a company like Dell, if suppose a person is working in Dell company, like suppose Ravi is working in Dell. So if Ravi is working in Dell, his email ID will be ravi@dell.com. That is his email ID. And that email ID is created by the Dell company. There is an email server in Dell company and there is an administrator there. He will create that email account. Till the time Ravi is working in that company, he can use that email server. And whatever emails are related to his work, all the emails will be coming and he will be forwarding emails from that particular account. And once he resigns from the job for some reason, that account will be taken back by the administrator, taken back by the management, and he cannot use that account anywhere else. Okay. Now, coming to MCSE and CCNA course, actually, it's a package actually for MCSE and CCNA right now. For some reason, they are offering package. And if you want to know the course fees and all the details, the management will call you, friends, within like 1 hour, half an hour or 1 hour. They will call you and they will send you an email. And in that email, they will add all the details about the course and the duration. I can say duration is for like maximum 35 days for each course. Okay. And about the course curriculum and the fees, hopefully they will discuss with you. Course fees is same for all, but still, it will not be good for me to discuss here. So they will discuss all the course fees with you. I think if you just visit their website, it is already written there, but still they will just talk to you in more details about the course. Okay, so let me just write one more thing here. What advantages you have here? The first thing, every class is recorded class. Whatever we are learning from day number 1, this class is also recorded. Actually, this session is also recorded, and within 2 hours, this session will be uploaded on your YouTube channel. Durgasoft has their own YouTube channel. So I was there on that YouTube channel. This is the YouTube channel. So the classes will be updated there. So all these are recorded classes there actually. Okay, they will be updated there. That is the one thing. And the second thing here is from day number 1 till the last day, all the classes will be recorded and each and every class recorded session will be provided to you. Okay, that is the one thing. The second thing is you will get some softwares to practice. Where you do MCSE practice and CCNA practice. For CCNA, we have something called Cisco Packet Tracer. There is a software called Cisco Packet Tracer, using which you can do all the practicals. Like you can take a router here, you can take a switch, you can take computer, laptop, you can take server, you can make your own network here. I'll just show you this when you go with CCNA. It will take one session for me. So no need to worry what I'm doing as of now. I'm just making this connections. I'm connecting all the devices with switch. Then you should go to router and you should configure the router. So whatever I do here now, it will be same on a real router. Same enable command, same config t command, same host name command. Suppose I'm saying host name is India here. Everything will be same on a real router also. Whether it is the virtual device or the physical device, it will be same. So we have a software here that is called Cisco Packet Tracer. It is used to do all the practicals of routers and switches. Done. And coming to MCSE, we have some other software here. It is called VMware Workstation. There is something called Oracle VirtualBox. You can go with any one of these. So if I go with VMware Workstation, I can create virtual machines there and you can do all practicals there. I'll show you how to create virtual machines, how to install the Windows Server operating system, then how to install services, how to configure services, all these things we have to see. Okay, so these are the 2 softwares we have. So I'll be sharing these softwares with you. Then I'll show you how to download some operating system like Windows Server operating system. So without Windows Server operating systems, you cannot practice your administration, right? How to configure, manage, and all those things. So Windows Server is free for 180 days. So I'll show you from where you should download this and what settings we have, all those things we will see. Then we have I have created some lab books. I'll be sharing this lab books with you. So whenever you do MCSE practicals or CCNA practicals, things will look easy for you. You can simply check the book. In case if you're stuck anywhere, you can just verify that book. You can check the book and you can just, proceed with your configuration. But still, if you have any doubt here, still if you're stuck somewhere, then there is a software here called NADisk. You can just install this NADisk software. I can access your disk. I can access your desktop, computer or laptop, whatever. And wherever you're stuck, I'll just try to clear your doubts. It is very rare actually where I access the other person desktop, because in this book, everything is written clearly. But there are still some cases where a student will be stuck at some place. So I can just access their website. I access their computer or laptop, and then I can troubleshoot the problem there. Okay. But still lab books are more than enough. Then I have created some interview questions and answers. These interview questions and answers are from basic questions and answers to server administration and up to network administration. I have created around 200 interview questions and answers. This will help you a lot in understanding the subject first of all, and the second thing is you can see what questions they will ask you in interviews. Got it? So these are the interview question and answers we need to learn, or we need to I'll be sharing these questions and answers. Just try to revise the question. No need to memorize anything actually. See, in interviews you should not answer a definition school and college. What we used to do, we used to write the answer exactly it was there in the book, right? But here no. When you face the interview, you should just simply discuss questions and answers with the person. You should not answer any definitions there. Okay, so I have created some interview question and answers in more clear and easy way. It is just like, having some discussion with the other persons. It will be much useful for you. These are the advantages for you, friends. And especially for recorded classes and all the other things, we are not charging anything separately. I know some institutes, they charge separately for this. So whatever fees you are paying, in that fees, you will be getting the Windows Server Administration course as well as the Network Administration course, and you are getting all these added advantages there. Done. So these are the things you will be getting. These are the advantages you will be having from this session. Okay, so anything else here, friends? I'm done with from my side actually. I'm supposed to, like, guide you through some basic things. So that is what I have done, hopefully. If still any doubt, any question, like, see, I have some experience on Windows networks. I have run CCNA, CCNP, CCI. I'm even like CCI theory certified person. I have worked on that for like quite a few years. I have the concept of Linux administration. Okay, I've been working on like virtualization for like 5-6 years. I'm into like cloud computing for some years now. I'm taking online classes for the AWS and all those things, as well as, I have the knowledge of security and all those things. So 12-13 years is a huge time. So I have, like, knowledge of many other technologies. So if you need any suggestions, any help regarding Windows or network or anything else, feel free to send me a question. Not only today, actually, like in coming classes also. Just feel free to send me a question. So hopefully I can just, guide you in a better way. Okay, so that's it, friends. That's it for today. But still, I'm here for like 30 seconds and maybe like a couple of minutes. If there is anything else to see, we will say. Okay, or else we can stop this session for today. Thanks again for joining today, because Sunday is not the easy day to conduct any classes. But from tomorrow, actually, that is Monday at morning. Monday at 8:30 a.m. I'm starting MCSE, Windows Server Administration. I'll be starting from very basic to like administration level. This is what I'll be starting tomorrow. And CCNA, hopefully after like 3 days or 4 days, it will be morning 7 a.m. So 7 to 8:15 will be like CCNA. Then there is a break for like 15 to 20 minutes, and 8:30 to like 9:30, 9:40, it will be like MCSE. So this is the package that we are starting right now, and I'm available only at this time right now. Other times I'm busy with some other classes, friends. So 8:30 a.m. is MCSE, that is Windows Server Administration. We are starting from tomorrow, and CCNA we'll see like maybe next week we'll start, or after like next Monday we'll start the CCNA. Okay, friends. So I guess there are no more questions here. So again, thanks a lot for joining. Have a nice day and very good luck for you, friends. See you soon. Take care. Bye.